Two wars, two continents, two major moves by the U.S. in just the last 48 hours. 1. America signals it may accept Russia's control of Crimea to push for peace in Ukraine. 2. Airstrikes kill over 70 in Yemen, reigniting one of the world's deadliest and most overlooked conflicts. These aren't just headlines. These decisions have ripple effects on diplomacy, on global alliances, and on people's lives. Whether these moves bring peace or escalate violence is still unclear, but one thing's certain, they mark a huge turning point. Hello, and welcome to Tenor. Today, we're unpacking the global consequences of the U.S. most controversial foreign policy moves this year. Ukraine and Crimea. Let's rewind. In 2014, Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine, sparking global condemnation. The US and EU slapped Moscow with sanctions, and the West stood firm in saying Crimea belongs to Ukraine. Now, over a decade later, that stance may be changing. According to reports from Bloomberg and CNN, Trump administration officials are floating the idea of recognizing Crimea as part of Russia in exchange for a broader peace agreement to end the war. This could involve Russia pulling back troops from other areas in Ukraine, possibly halting missile strikes, and sitting down for negotiations. President Zelensky has strongly rejected the proposal, calling it a dangerous precedent. To him, and to most Ukrainians, Crimea isn't a bargaining chip. It's part of their sovereign nation. And as Russia continues its military operations, even during so-called truces, trust in Moscow's intentions is low. This development raises major questions. Is the U.S. trying to wrap up involvement in Ukraine to refocus elsewhere? Are we trading principle for practicality? And what message does this send to allies like Poland, the Baltic states, or even Taiwan? Yemen airstrikes. Now to Yemen. In a dramatic escalation, the U.S. launched multiple airstrikes on the Ras Isa oil terminal, controlled by the Houthi rebels. The strikes killed at least 74 people and injuring nearly 180. This is one of the deadliest U.S. actions in Yemen in years. The official line, the U.S. says that these strikes targeted critical revenue sources used by the Houthis to fund attacks on ships and allies in the region. But the Houthis are calling it a war crime. They've already promised retaliation. For years, Yemen has been caught in a proxy war. Houthis backed by Iran versus a Saudi-led coalition heavily supported by the U.S. The Biden administration had initially scaled back U.S. involvement, but this recent strike under Trump marks a full reversal. This isn't just about one port or one group. It's about oil, power, and the shifting lines of influence in the Middle East. Global impact. Together, these two moves reflect a new tone in U.S. foreign policy, one that's less idealistic and more transactional. The question is, does it work? Will recognizing Crimea speed up peace or encourage more land grabs? Will airstrikes in Yemen stop Houthi attacks or fuel more hatred and chaos? If you learned something new or just want to stay up to date on global affairs without the noise, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives on international issues. Now I want to hear from you. Should the U.S. recognize Crimea as Russian? Was the Yemen airstrike justified or reckless? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching Tenor. I'll see you next time.